bragging rights. Just over 7 minutes to go. LeBron hits a three to put the Lakers up 7. 2 minutes later, that lead is gone. Kawhi with a three to tie the game at 101. The Claw finished with 35 and 12. All right, time winding down. LeBron's game-tying three-point attempt blocked by Patrick Beverley. Watch it again. Replay shows the ball actually went off LeBron's hand. Keep in mind the King playing most of this one through an aggravated groin that he suffered in the first quarter. Clippers win the game 111-106. This is the second time they've beaten the Lakers this season. So what did LeBron think of that final play?
I didn't feel like the ball went off my hand. But, I mean, that's the way it went.
Just try to make a play on a really great player. Went for it the first time. I kind of missed it. I don't want to hit him with his elbow, kind of reach back, and I was just fortunate to make a defensive play.
It was another road game, you know what I mean? Christmas didn't have nothing to do with it. You know, our mindset was coming in and trying to win a basketball game on the road, and we were able to do that. I mean, it's a long season, it's a marathon, so, you know, it was a great atmosphere. You know, we had a chance to win, but they made the place.
All right, guys, we're going to talk about that groin injury to LeBron. We should keep in mind it's a different side. I think it was the left side of his groin, not the same one he hurt last year. But let's first start talking about the game. Did the Clippers, Nick, prove that they are the best team in L.A. after last night?
Well, they played better last night, and they had a fabulous finish. And they were down 15 early in the third quarter. We showed the highlight. When they were down 7 with around 6 minutes left, the Lakers are like 90% to win that game, and they need to win that game. They should have won that game. And Anthony Davis said it repeatedly after the game. Basically, we gave this game away. So this is a bad loss for the Lakers because they had controlled the entirety of the second half until the moments of the second half that matter the most. But despite that, do I think the Clippers are better than the Lakers? No. Now, I don't know how Broussard feels, but my guess is you similarly on this, even if you're not quite, you're a little higher on the Clippers than me. But I think these are going to be minority opinions. I think what you had in the NBA yesterday, the best team in each conference take on what most people consider to be their toughest competition in each conference.
Yes.
You had the best player in each conference outplayed by the best player on the opposition in each of those games. And folks are going to have the correct reaction, I believe, to Milwaukee-Philly, which is Giannis still the best player out east, and Milwaukee's the best team. And people are going to wildly overreact to Lakers-Clippers because the vast majority of the basketball world has been waiting for a moment to say, told you so, Lakers ain't that good. Soft schedule, LeBron's in year 17, the real team of LA is the Clippers, and because of the Lakers' own errors down the stretch, because LeBron, injury or not, was not able to get to the basket yesterday and his shot was not falling, one shot shy to open the game of the worst start to a game in his NBA career. That's 0 for 8. He was 0 for 7 start yesterday's game. People are going to pounce on this. And LeBron also, you said we're going to talk about the injuries. The only player in sports not allowed to get injured. So if he's hurt, it's his fault. And so the Lakers, though, they got to own this one, Broussard, because they had this game in control throughout the second half. They led the entirety of the second half until there's about 4.5 minutes left in this game. And then they never punched back once the Clippers retook the lead. But no, I do not think the Clippers are a better team than the Lakers.
I'm with you. I'm going with the Lakers under one caveat. If LeBron is LeBron.
Yep.
In the preseason, I said the Clippers on paper look like the best team in the NBA. I said the Clippers should be the favorite. But I picked the LA Lakers to win the championship because I expected and believed LeBron would be motivated by the washed king, all that talk, wherever that was from. I don't think it was quite washed king, but he has embellished it and made it what people are saying he's not the best player in the world. And I still think he'll be motivated by that. But he's got to be better. He hasn't, the 2 games against the Clippers, he hasn't been LeBron James. Now, yesterday, I'll give him the groin. But even in the first game against him, he wasn't aggressive.
It was one of his worst games of the year, his first game against him.
And yesterday, forget the numbers, forget that he took 24 shots. He wasn't LeBron James. I don't need 12 three-pointers unless it's one of those nights where he's just hot. Okay, I need him driving to the basket, being aggressive. I need him posting up when Patrick Beverley or even Paul George is on him. At least back him down, go in the paint and score. I need him pushing the ball in transition. He did none of that for the most part. But despite all that, the Lakers, because I believe LeBron will be LeBron. So when I look at other aspects of the game, you can be encouraged as a Laker fan. Their protection at the rim really bothered the Clippers. I mean, it was eye-popping how much trouble the Clippers have finishing at the rim because of the Lakers' size. Danny Green was okay. He had 6 points, but he hit a couple big shots. I thought Anthony Davis was good. Some disagree. I thought he was good. You can go to him a little more, but I thought he played well. And, you know, Kyle Kuzma stepped up and played well. Like you said, the Lakers should have won that game. And if LeBron is himself, they do win that game. So when LeBron's himself, I think they'll be better. Now, this groin injury, sit out. I think there's a report saying he may sit out one half of the back-to-back. No, sit out a week, 2 weeks, whatever it takes for you to get back to being LeBron James like you were up until a week ago when the reports were that you may have tweaked.
It was the rib injury against the Pacers and then the groin injury against the Bucks. And listen, in LeBron's 6 worst games of the year, the Lakers are 1-5, and they also lost the game that he sat out. And he hasn't been good these last 3 games.
No,
last 3 games, he's 25 of 63 from the field and 5 of 19 from 3. And I know we're going to talk more about the injury. I do think one of the reasons he took 12 threes was because, man, what do you do if you're tired playing pickup basketball? Just start taking jump shots. You don't want to get to the basket. I don't think he was tired. I think he didn't have the explosion. The other element of the game, Jenna, that you mentioned in the read was the very end of the game. Now, I want to make this clear. The Lakers deserve to lose. If that call is made differently, they are still at that point, so they have the ball down 3 with this is not why they lost. But you can attest to this, Jenna Wolf, because you've sat across from me or next to me for the better part of the last 3 years. This is the exact scenario why I despise instant replay. We've even done a pantomime on the set of me describing this exact play, which is technically that ball went off LeBron James. For 75 years of professional basketball and 125 years since Naismith invented the damn thing in Canada, or in Lawrence, Kansas, depending on who you believe, that is Lakers basketball. And through the advent of technology, the fact that this becomes Clippers basketball is not getting the call right and is not making the game better. And this is always Lakers ball. And what you will find out, and I've said this before, if you hold a basketball out in front of you and Broussard were to slap down on it, if we were to go frame by frame by frame, it almost assuredly goes off the bottom of my fingertips after it goes off you. Right. But for always, that's been called off the player that made the block, off the player that went for the steal. And changing that does not make the sport better. It is not why the Lakers lost. It is, but this is a pet issue of mine because instant replay continues across sports. It, in an attempt to make things better, makes things far worse.
Look, I see what you're saying. I think the best example is football. Like a lot of people don't know what a catch is anymore, you know, and so many great catches in the past would probably not be catches today. However, I disagree with you. They got the call right because it did go off his hand. Now, I'm with you, except for 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, without this type of technology, that would have been Lakers ball. But it clearly showed when they slowed it down to the
frame by frame,
right, that it went off his hand. And all you said, you know, you gave the example of guys slapping the ball away and it rolls off a guy's finger, but they give it to the other team. All that means is for 75 years or whatever, they've been wrong.
Well, then, you know what?
This was the right call.
If that's the right call,
because it went off LeBron.
You said 10 years ago, 5 minutes prior in the game, that would have been Lakers ball. Because it doesn't get reviewed inside of the last 2 minutes. Then they need to change the way we officiate basketball across all levels, because the vast majority of the time, a block like that is off the shooter. That's the physics of it. That's the physics of it. If it gets knocked out of my hand, it's going to go off my fingertips at the end. That's what I
change it. Because it went off LeBron's fingers.
Yeah.
I mean, that was... How?
That's the wrong call.
How's it the wrong call?
Because it's not the way basketball's been played forever.
But they've been wrong forever.
No, they haven't been wrong forever. Through the advent of frame by frame, that is the spirit of that. Is it's off the blocking player. Hell, Mike Breen thought it was arguing, well,